Hey guys, and welcome back to Irma Sofra. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make my goulash. It's one of those recipes you didn't think you needed, but I'm going to show it to you anyways because my recipe is bomb. So stay tuned for how I make my goulash. So when cutting up the meat and the vegetables, what I like to do is make sure that everything is about the same size. The reason why is because if you use a small dice for your vegetables and then big chunks of meat, you're not going to see your vegetables in your goulash and it's going to just kind of mush up. So I like to make sure that everything's kind of the same size when cooking, and I'm not going to be using a pressure cooker for this. I'm just going to be doing it on the stovetop because I know a lot of my followers are young and they don't know how to use a pressure cooker. So this is going to take a little bit of time, but no worries because the results are amazing. So I start by putting a nice even layer of meat down in my pan, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to let all that moisture kind of seep out of the meat first, and then once that moisture comes out, then we're going to start browning up the meat, and we want each side of the meat to be pretty brown because we want to have a lot of flavor. And then all those little bits on the bottom are going to come up when we add some water, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. It's going to give our goulash a great flavor. Once my meat is browned, I'm going to add my veggies. I'm using peppers, onions, carrots, and celery. You can really use whatever you have on hand, and I'm going to add that in there. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to saute this. I'm not looking for anything special with the vegetables. I just want them to kind of cook with the meat a little bit before I add any liquids. So I always like to have some spiced or herbed butter on hand in my fridge. Here, just some parsley, some fresh garlic, it's like 2 to 3 cloves, and then a stick of butter. And then I'm just going to add that into my goulash. This is optional, but it gives it an amazing flavor. I definitely recommend if you're not going to use a herbed garlic, then just use half a stick of butter in the goulash. It's definitely going to give it a lot of flavor. Now, once my butter has completely melted, I'm going to add in some flour. And what's very important to remember, whenever you add flour to something that you're baking or cooking, you want to make sure that we get that flour taste out of the actual meal. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook that flour out for roughly 60 seconds to 2 minutes. And we just don't want that icky, floury taste. We just want that to be the thickener for our goulash. Then we're going to add some liquids. So I'm using chicken stock. You can use beef stock. I didn't have it on hand because, you know, we're stuck in quarantine. So I'm using some chicken stock, and then I'm going to use 1 can of Italian tomato sauce. It doesn't have any seasonings. It's just sea salt in it. And that's what I recommend when you're cooking, you guys, because you don't want that extra, you know, thyme, basil, all that, blah, blah, blah. We don't need that. We just need the basic tomato sauce. And then I'm going to add some ayvar, and I'm going to simmer this. Now, I cook this on low for like an hour and 45 minutes. What I'm looking for is tender to the touch meat. So that's all we're looking for. It might take faster for you guys. For me, it was like an hour and 45. So after about an hour and 45 minutes, I added some seasonings. I tasted it before. I did some vegeta, some pepper, and fresh parsley. That's it. Super simple, super easy. Again, like I said, make sure that you taste it before you serve it. You just want to make sure that your salt is good because we did add that chicken stock, so we want to make sure it's not too salty. And there you have it, you guys, my goulash recipe. Simple, delicious, easy to make, and it's filling, and it's so, so, so good. I know you guys will like it too. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Add me on Instagram, and I will see you guys next time.